Well, joining us now on Encounter via satellite are members of the Pontifical Sistine Chapel Choir. We have Diego, Mark, and Stefano, and they are here to talk about the choir's first ever U.S. tour. It's coming up in July. Thanks so much for being with us.
Morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Maybe if we could start with you, Diego. I understand you are the first Argentinian to be in the choir. Maybe if you could talk about your experience. What's it like to be part of this multinational group?
Oh, hello there. Yes, I am. It's quite an amazing experience be part of this choir. Like when I was little one, I used to watching the TV, the Mass from the Vatican, and now I am there. It's something like unique on this world. It's just amazing there.
And I actually think, Mark, as well, you're the first British singer in the choir. What are you most looking forward to as you prepare for this? I know you probably have done tours before, but this is the first U.S. tour for the Sistine Chapel Choir. What are you looking forward to?
This is our first concert tour of the U.S., yes.
Yes, yeah. Well, what are you...
It's our first concert tour, and we are going to 8 cities across the U.S., and it's going to be, it's going to be pretty intense, I think, for us, but we're really looking forward to it. And we're looking forward to bringing to the US really the best of our tradition in the Vatican, and specifically from the Sistine Chapel itself.
And talk about, if you could, singing in the choir itself. I understand you have, some of you have opera backgrounds as well, and maybe if you could talk about that too. How does opera help? Does it, are there similarities with singing in an opera as well as singing in a choir? Maybe if you could talk about that, Stefano.
Yeah, I have not that huge background in the opera, but I did. I'm a countertenor, so my vocal register is quite, let's say, perfect for this kind of choir, because I'm among altos. And sometimes when we sing just adults, I'm singing the cantus part, so the highest voice. Okay. I sang several operas before joining this choir. I joined this choir 1 year and a half ago, so I'm quite new in this choir. And but now my vocality let me sing this kind of repertoire, which is precise for my voice, so I'm quite lucky and happy to be part of it.
Yeah. I trained as an opera singer as well, and there are similarities and differences. With opera, of course, it's much bigger. You have a bigger amount of resonance that you use for the sound.
Sure.
With this, it's a much more refined, much more articulated way of singing, and it's much quieter, much softer, but just as sustained. And you have to have essentially the same technique. Low larynx, diaphragmatic breathing, but used in a very, very precise way.
Speaking of newness, what was it like for you all to sing in the Sistine Chapel for the first time? Do you still remember that, and maybe some of the emotions or thoughts you had as you were singing?
Yeah, the first time was quite, we have a rehearsal a lot every day. We prepare every day. I think my personal experience the first time wasn't that, because I was very focused, and just try to follow the maestro. But recently, like just a couple of months ago, it was a December concert. Just look on the roof of the Sistine Chapel when we finished the concert, and I get in tears just for my first time after years singing in the choir. My personal was recently.
My first time singing in the Sistine Chapel itself was in my first 2 weeks of being in the choir. And we were doing our recording. So we were in the Sistine Chapel at night when it was completely silent, and we were there for 8 days. To be singing the music, which was composed at more or less the same time as Michelangelo was finishing the Sistine Chapel. So the paint was still wet when this music was being first composed. Wow. And we were singing that in there. With the acoustic for which it was written, with the choir for which it was written, and this is overwhelming. Yeah. And this is really one of the most exciting things I think any artist can do.
Now I understand too, at some of the stops that you'll be making, you'll be singing with some of the local choirs as well. Talk about that too. What type?
We're looking forward for that.
Yeah. And is there any type of preparation, or how's that all work together?
Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna sing, we're gonna perform with other choirs, local choirs. We are looking so much forward to it, and yeah, I think we are gonna expect many other choirs in our tour that are going to open our concert. So we are quite lucky, and
We know that there are some great choirs here in America, and we've
Yeah.
heard them, and we know
Yeah.
that they're fantastic, and we're really excited to be singing with these choirs. They sing here in America with such commitment and such enthusiasm, and we're very excited to be working with them.
Diego, Mark, Stefano, thank you so much, and we're
Thank
looking,
you.
looking
Thank you.
forward to your visit here to the U.S.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more of Encounter right after this.